It's time for Recipe of the Day. I love when Brussels sprouts are really soft in the middle, but like crispy caramelized on the outside. And if there is some bacon going on and maybe a sweet little honey drizzle, then they are perfection. And that is what this recipe is all about. And the best part is that it's all done on one pan. Even the bacon is cooked on that pan. It is simple perfection. You're going to start by preheating the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to line a large baking sheet with parchment paper, and then onto there you're going to put 8 strips of raw bacon in a single non-overlapping layer. Then get yourself 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts, small to medium sized, and you're going to just trim a tiny little bit off of the stem end, just a little bit that doesn't look nice. We really want most of that stem to be on there because it's going to help hold the leaves together, which is going to be important because we're going to be lightly smashing these once they are cooked, and we want them to stay as little entities. Now, having said that, if any leaves do come off during this trimming process, keep them with the Brussels sprouts. Those guys, once they're on the pan, they are the little bits that get the crispiest. So we definitely do want some of those little leaves, right? Okay, once your Brussels sprouts are trimmed, put them into a bowl with a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Shake them all around to coat them. And then you put those on top of your strips of raw bacon, also in just a single non-overlapping layer, Brussels sprouts on top of bacon. And then you want to cover that really well with aluminum foil. The idea here is that the foil is going to trap the heat in there and allow the Brussels sprouts to steam while the fat is rendered out of the bacon. But we're not crisping anything right now, so that foil needs to be there so that everything stays soft. You are putting that into that 425 degree Fahrenheit oven just until the Brussels sprouts are fork tender, which does depend on their size to a certain extent, but it's going to be between 35 to 40 minutes. Then, once they are fork tender, you're going to remove that foil. We don't need it anymore. Transfer the bacon out from under the Brussels sprouts and put that on a cutting board. It's going to be soft, like with the fat rendered out of it, but still soft. That's fine. That's what we want. Put that onto a cutting board. Set that aside. Then, you're going to toss the Brussels sprouts on the pan with any of that bacon fat that came out of the bacon. You just want to coat that gently. And then you're going to lightly smash these Brussels sprouts. It's easiest to use like a glass to do this or any flat surface. And you're just going with steady, gentle pressure because you don't want to have them destroyed. You just want them to get flatter. And we're doing this because more surface area means more caramelized browned edges. Okay. So use that glass, gently but firmly smash all of those Brussels sprouts. And then once they're all done, sort of spread them out and sprinkle them with another 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then those go back into the oven, the 425 degree Fahrenheit oven, for 15 minutes. While that's happening, you can be doing other things, but one of the things you need to do is to chop up the bacon. And then after the 15 minutes, you're going to scatter the bacon all over top of the Brussels sprouts, and they're going back into the oven one more time, just until the bacon is crisped up and the Brussels sprouts are a very dark brown around the edges. Should be about 10 to 15 minutes. If they haven't browned, you can switch the oven to broil and just watch closely and let them get brown and crispy just for a couple of minutes. Now, while those are finishing, you can optionally mix together a 1/4 cup of honey with a pinch of cayenne. And then when your Brussels sprouts are done, the bacon's crispy, you've got the brown edges, but the Brussels sprouts are still soft inside from that original cooking with the steam because of the foil. Okay, so they're soft, they're crispy, the bacon's crisp, and then you are drizzling that spiced honey all over them and digging in. I know, they are just so good. I know you have to try them. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is November 18th of 2024. If you try this recipe and love it, or love any of the recipes from either of my sites that you have tried before, I would appreciate it if you would go and leave a comment. and a 5-star rating. The comments really help other people know what you've tried, what you've changed, lets me know that you've made the recipe, which is so nice and rewarding for me. And then those 5-star ratings, that really helps grow my business because people see the ratings on Google when they're doing their recipe searches and they're more likely to click over. I also use a lot of these recipe comments on social media to show people what recipes people are making and loving. So if you are following me on social media, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook especially, I am Cook the Story there. You will see these comments going up and maybe yours will be featured there as well. I would love that. I'm sure you would too. Thank you so much for listening and for commenting and rating the recipes. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all new chicken cookbook. And from this podcast, Recipe of the Day, I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.